What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to start our new series here. We're on the road to 10K. So I started out with 1,000 in a Roth IRA on Robinhood, and every week we're going to update it and check on it, and we're going to grow this thing to $10,000, right? And I want to bring you guys onto the journey. If y'all have any stock recommendations or ETF recommendations, put them down in the comments and we'll grow this bad boy together. My goal here is to just show people, if you stay consistent, how quickly you can actually grow, 1,000 into 10,000. And then once we hit that goal at 10,000, then we'll move on to 15, 20, so on and so forth. So like I said, my primary goal here is for newer people, even older people, or, veterans of investing. Everybody can use a refresher, and, learning how to stay more consistent and learning how to put your money to work in the right way. So every week or bi-weekly, I'm going to be putting about $250 to $300 in this account, and we'll go through it every week and, put in new investments if we want to, take some out, trim, whatever we need to do to grow this thing to $10,000. And I'm super excited to do it. This is the first time I've actually ever kind of done this kind of thing. But so here in a minute, we're going to pop open Robinhood, check out what I got so far. So like I said, I already put 10,000 in it. Or I already put 1,000 in it, maybe a little bit over, and went ahead and invested some of it into the core holdings that I really have conviction in, and then we as a community can grow it from there. So let's pop open this Robinhood app and show you what we got. All right, so popping this bad boy open here, you can see this is our Roth IRA on Robinhood. So far we have $1,072. And you can see, I just started it out. So right here, basically on April 30th is when I opened it. And for the month, you can see we're up about 0.8%, and that's $8. So if we scroll on, and you can see buying power, I have $62 left. So leave those comments down below if y'all want to add, or, any kind of stocks that you guys want to add. So looking here at the first stocks that I have is VOO. So this is going to make up about, let's click into it here. So you can see VOO here makes up about 30% of my portfolio. Our market value is about $303. And in my opinion, for any portfolio out there, I think your core, you should definitely have a core. And I think the perfect core for any portfolio is the S&P 500. It protects you, it gives you diversification in many different ways, instead of just sitting there holding a ton of individual stocks and taking on so much unnecessary risk. But you will see that in our portfolio we do have some stocks, individual stocks, that I have high conviction in, but I always recommend having a strong core with the S&P 500. And moving on to stock number 2, I have CoreWeave. So I have two shares of CoreWeave, and that makes up about $196 of our portfolio. And third stock, I have SoFi. I have about 10 shares of SoFi, making up about $157 of the portfolio. Next is Meta, making up $119. Amazon at $117, and coming in last but not least is Robinhood, making up about $114. So this is the portfolio that I have started so far. And like I said, every week we'll be coming in here making adjustments, and bi-weekly we will be adding about $250 to $300 consistently. And that way we can just show, how, if you stay consistent, how fast wealth can actually build. So again, I'm super excited to start this journey with you guys. Hopefully, we can grow this thing pretty quickly. Depending on the market, there could be a substantial pullback coming in the near future. If, we don't make a deal in Iran, oil prices stay over 100, rate cuts are potentially coming in the future. So it could get ugly, but, we're going to continue. And that's the thing. If things do get ugly, even in the top of the markets and the bottom, if you stay consistent and just put money in no matter what, yes, you're going to buy the highs. Yes, you're going to buy the lows. And that averages out over time, and your money's going to compound. It's just the beautiful thing about investing is you buy the highs, you buy the lows, and you average out in somewhere in the middle over the long term. Because if we look back historically, the markets always recover. The US always figures something out, a different lever to pull, and it always continues to go up and to the right. You just have to stay consistent, put money in, and watch your wealth build. I do want to emphasize, it's never too late to start investing, right? I was a late bloomer a little bit. I started in my late 20s, and I have already grown to over 20K in just like 2.5, 3 years. You know, yes, I've had to pull some money out because of life, but it happens. But the last thing you want to do is not start today if you haven't started already. So let's build this journey. Let's get to 10K, and then moving forward, we'll go on to 2050, and eventually that $100,000 goal that we all have. You know, they always say once you reach your first $100,000, your life will change, and your money just starts compounding harder and harder and harder. And next thing you know, you'll be at that 1 million. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm looking forward to doing this every week. And until next time, we'll see y'all later.